Assalamu alaikum. Today we shall discuss creativity, and this is the part 2 of our first video on the definition of creativity, or in which we try to answer the question of what is creativity, or what is this concept made of, or what are the major attributes which characterize creativity. We learned two things in this video. First was that creativity is a process, a psycho-intellectual process. We shall come back to this afterwards. It is a process through which we generate new ideas, but these new ideas are grounded in the existing literature. Second, in the part 1, we learned that according to the psychologists or the researchers on creativity, the creativity process goes through 3 steps: preparation, incubation, and illumination. Preparation and incubation are done by the researcher or the learner. Illumination is automatic. In simple terms, preparation means that the researcher or the creator, he or she has to collect all the facts and figures relevant to the topic selected. Incubation means that those facts and figures will be processed and the effort will be made to generate new idea about the topic selected, or about the variables included in the topic, or their interrelationships, whatever. So after processing, the new idea appears in the form of a theoretical framework or a new method or model to express the issue or solve the problem. If the topic selected was a problem, then the output or the result of the process will be solution of the problem in a new style, with a new methods and procedures, and using new kind of resources. Now, in part 2, we shall try to answer the questions of who is the creator and how one can become a creator. To explain this, we shall use the same model of preparation, incubation, and illumination, but use the terminologies of a system. Preparation is a kind of inputs, incubation is the process, and illumination is the output. In a system, or in systems language, we say that this activity actually contains inputs which are processed, and after processing, the required output is achieved. So let's start with the inputs or the preparation stage of creativity. Here you can see that two things are required: existing knowledge of any subject, because creativity is not concerned only with the students of management or political science or education or chemistry or physics, whatever. Every learner, every educated person is supposed to be creative, and particularly every researcher, no matter in which subject he is working, he has to be creative. So the base, and he will become creator or creative and generate new ideas, obviously in the same subject in which the student or the learner is basically educated. So any subject, but the person or the individual has to show command over the contents of the knowledge, philosophy of that particular knowledge, theories of related to that particular subject, principles or logic used in the subject. So no matter whatever is the subject, but the learner or the researcher has to have some command about at least the basics of the contents, philosophies, theories, and principles that are popular and that are used in the subject. The second part of the inputs, and which is more critical and more important, is concerned with the researcher or the creator himself or herself. He or she has to create by through practice, through rehearsal, through listening to several motivational videos or whatever. If anybody wants to become really, in true sense, in letters and spirit, a creative researcher or creative learner, then he or she has to make these sacrifices, if they are sacrifices, make these sacrifices and work on these abilities, so that if these abilities related to the learning process, they are created in the creator, then it becomes possible to make the best use of this knowledge to process and generate new ideas. The abilities which are required from a creative person or a person who is willing to become creative is basically only one, and that is open mindedness. Now, open mindedness refers to many things. Open mindedness, on the face of it, simply means that the person listens to everybody, every resource, anything around him or her. So, open mindedness means that the person is extrovert. He or she has social abilities as well as sociable abilities. However, the open mindedness refers to the following points. 1. Curiosity. Every human being is loaded with the ability of curiosity by birth. But whoever makes use of curiosity, he or she gets more knowledge or uses the curiosity as a tool for learning. Sharing of ideas. One who wants to become creator or creative learner, he or she must share his or her ideas with the fellows, class fellows, with the teachers, with the fellow researchers and other people, anybody. Group intelligence. The creator is one who learns what is group intelligence and tries to practice it in the learning process. Next, tolerance for ambiguity. The one who needs to become creator must understand that he or she doesn't need all the facts and figures to generate a new idea, and rather they can take the risk and they can work out new ideas and new models for the research topic on the basis of whatever is available. Willing to change. These are the people who are ready to change in the sense that change their theories, whatever they know, they are ready to change if they get some more information which is more powerful and more motivating and convincing, then they can replace their existing ideas with them. So finally, these are the people who are searching for alternatives. These are the people who at the time may be using the traditional methods of doing something, like reading a book, how to read a book, whether it should be read for 3 hours continuously or 2 hours continuously. Some people say that you should not read the book when you are sleeping. So there are different things which can be thought out by these kind of people on the basis of their existing knowledge, as we are referring to. So searching for alternatives means that these people are looking for new possibilities of doing anything, learning as well as performing other functions of life. So inputs refer to the knowledge base of the learner or the researcher or the creator, and the skills and abilities which he or she has to create in her personality or in his personality. Second, the process level. At the process level, we shall refer to two types of creativity. One is simple, one is deliberate creativity, and the second is spontaneous. Deliberate means that when a learner or researcher plans to start the process of creativity and come up with new idea. Spontaneous means that it happens automatically or not on the basis of our conscience, rather subconscious, and it is mostly on the basis of emotions. So deliberate, is it cognitive? Is it related to the rational knowledge, or is it coming from emotional side? Whether our emotions or the emotional brain is suggesting something in the form of a new idea. And the same thing, cognitive, emotional at the deliberate level, and cognitive or emotional at the spontaneous level. And these four are the processes. Deliberate cognitive, that is what a creator or a learner or researcher can begin by himself or herself. Deliberate and cognitive. Deliberate and emotional, it is again started by the creator himself, but when he or she is emotionally informed or charged. Spontaneous is the creativity process which begins either cognitively or emotionally, but it is not deliberate. It, it just starts because of facing some new kind of facts and figures or information. After that, at the process level, there are different tools, different models and theories to process the collected facts and figures into a manner that it can help the researcher to come up with new ideas. The most commonly used tool is brainstorming. Brainstorming simply refers to a practice that once we have collected all the relevant facts and figures about a topic, and we go through it and we understood it and we know about all the variables and their attributes and their relationships, then we can sit down and just draw a spider diagram. Then put the heading or the topics under discussion, or the topic about which you or the researcher has collected the facts and figures. Put it in a circle and draw the arrows showing different aspects of the topic that is coming to your mind after reading through the materials related to the topic. For example, in our research, we are using this variable self-confidence, which is a big concept. If a creative person or a researcher who wants to come up with new idea about some aspect of self-confidence, and then he or she went through different materials on the topic, and as a process for analyzing the collected fact and figures to generate new idea, he or she can use spider diagram, which simply means that place the topic in the center and then write down all the relevant facts and figures which the researcher thinks are more relevant, or they are making more general sense about the whole material. Place them around it, and when this shape or when this visual picture of the topic and the leading facts and figures are generated, then the researcher or the learner, he can conclude this understanding into a new idea which can be presented as as the output of the process. So, after processing, the outputs will be generating lots of ideas. The person who knows what are the inputs and works on the knowledge side, his own or her own ability side, and then knows that whether it is deliberate cognition or deliberate cognitive creativity, or it is emotional creativity, then he prepares the spider diagrams or any other tool for brainstorming. Then definitely the output will be generating lots of ideas, selecting the best idea, instant implementation of ideas, that we convert this into a theoretical framework which can be tested by the researchers. So we can see that creativity begins with knowledge about the issues or the problems. These are then problems or issues are tried to be solved through using different tools and techniques to understand the facts and figures, or to understand the message coming from the facts and figures, and definitely the output is the solution of the problems or issues. Before concluding this lecture, let's say something about the creativity and the process that works within, in the form of that when we collect knowledge or sensory data, it goes into our brain or mind. According to the scientists, brain refers to the machine, while mind refers to the system or the function of that machine. So brain is the machine and mind is the system or the energy or the mechanism which works. And it works in the sense that brain receives data, processes it, and then it is handed over to the mind for using in decision making. So when the sensory data comes to our brain, then our brain, as per researchers, is divided into two parts. Our brain has rational brain and emotional brain. These facts and figures come to both the rational brain as well as emotional brain. But what happens after they are received? The rational brain thinks while the emotional brain feels. And whatever is thought out by the rational brain and whatever is felt by the emotional brain, these collectively generate the idea or the decision in the mind. So creativity process actually is a psycho-intellectual process where rational brain and emotional brains get together, or the humans use their powers, two types of powers, rational brain powers and emotional brain powers, to start and end the creativity process. Thank you very much.